mind, is this going to be a limited regional war, with this being the last chapter, or is this going to be the beginning of a bigger global war? If it is to be the beginning of a bigger global war, obviously, General Bakshi, the rest of the world has got to be involved. For so viewers joining us, I would like General Bakshi to give us a sense this morning about whether the rest of the world will get involved. What is in it for them? Is China going to get involved? What is in it for them? What about China and Turkey and Russia, in these three countries in particular, which have made cautionary noises? Now, if they do not do anything after this, then they really lose, the whole world power balance changes. And if China, Russia and Turkey do nothing, then the global power balance completely shifts. All talks of multipolarity will come to an end. It will be seen to be a nuclear world for the next 10 years if China, Russia and Turkey and other countries who have stood with Iran do nothing this time. Europe does nothing, nobody does anything, of course, and they just let Trump have his way. Then Trump's power, play in the world becomes extremely significant. His say, his play becomes extremely significant. If not in the next 10 years, then for the next 4 years, we will be in a unipolar world. Can the rest of the world afford that? Can China afford that? Can Russia afford that? Will the advantages of global counterbalancing and multipolarity be lost with what happened this morning?
Very pertinent points, Arnab. Let me take them one by one. The Russians, let me analyze this one by one. The Russian President Putin himself had said, don't hit the nuclear facilities, especially Bushehr. He had warned that in Bushehr there are about 150 Russian engineers and technicians. And he had said, expressed concerns about their safety. He had warned about their safety. And he had said, we are not withdrawing them. So that is very truculent language, right? And I don't think with this kind of statements on record, doing nothing becomes an option for the Russians. The Chinese are, a different cup of tea. The Chinese are in deep trouble at home. Almost about 100 generals have either been sacked, killed or imprisoned, which includes the vice chairman of the Central Military Commission, about at least 20 top generals, and also 3 defense ministers. They had been removed. So I don't see China in much of a position to do anything more than what it has done already. It has sent 3 massive cargo plane loads of equipment. What kind of equipment? We do not know. But yes, it could supply surface-to-air missiles. It could supply North Korean surface-to-surface missiles. So could the Russians send in those aircraft. And if those aircraft are attacked, well, you have a widening of the conflict right away, right? As far as Iran is concerned, psyche-wise, the Shia penchant for martyrdom, for fighting unequal fights, is historically, civilizationally known to all, right? So doing nothing is just not an option for the Ayatollah and his regime. And like they are saying, I expect the retaliation now to come against American targets, whom they, as they quote unquote say, is the great Satan, right? And they are likely to hit the American bases in the Middle East. The point is, the Americans were anticipating it. They have cleared out most of their, people who are not required, equipment that is not required. C-130 aircrafts were taken out from the Oman base and other bases. They are thinning out that area because they know this is the most likely target to Iran if it wants to act muscular. It will also open Iran to massive bombardment and the entire force of the American military, which is there in theater, and it is considerable. The point at issue is they hit the Houthis for 7 weeks. Will the Iranians take it on for 7 weeks before they cry uncle? What would be the level of intervention? I think the intervention from the Russians would be to supply equipment, would be to threaten NATO countries not to join in, and the rest depends upon, the principal protagonist. If Iran chooses to do nothing, well, the rest of the world can do nothing.
Okay,
but
we have.
I do not think that is the choice Iran will make.
Absolutely.
I do not think that is the choice Iran will make.
We got an update from the Israel war room. Drone sirens along the Israel-Jordan border. Drone sirens along